Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is episode 28 of All That Glitters, a Waterdeep Dragon Heist campaign happening every Monday night right here on twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain. Dungeon mastered by the one, the only Masked Lord of Waterdeep himself, Mr. Mike the Piper. I will turn it over to him in just a quick moment. By now, you know the spiel of all of our connections and the groups we're partnered with. Check out the links down below the Twitch stream for Jasper's Game Day and Initiative Coffee Company, or you can type Jasper, rather exclamation point Jasper, or exclamation point coffee, and you can see some links where you can purchase coffee or you can donate to Jasper's Game Day, an organization dedicated to raising awareness and prevention of suicide through tabletop gaming. Very important and organization that we're pleased to be partnered with. Along that same note, if you find yourself in need of somebody to talk to because things aren't going well, whatever the case may be, for whatever reason, we think you are important, we think you are valuable, and we want you to utilize our help chat command, which will, thank you, Mike, for bringing that up in the chat. That will bring up the phone number for the National Suicide Hotline, where you can call any time of day or night at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255, or text 741-741. There are trained professionals on the other end of that line if you need somebody to talk to. And if you're a veteran, you can dial that number, and then you can dial a number 1 when they pick up, and that will take you to the Veterans National Suicide Hotline. I feel like, I'm just now realizing this, but I feel like we should have if there is one, whatever the Canadian counterpart to that is. I mean, almost every one of my streams, I've got Canadian friends with us, and I know we've got Canadians in the audience. So I'm going to look into that. I'm going to make a note, find out what that is, and we're going to add that in there as well. But please do, if you need somebody to talk to, do not hesitate to use that number. We have a thing called domain dice that we use here on Mini Terrain Domain that allow us various levels of reroll. That information is scrolling along the bottom, along with that National Suicide Prevention Hotline. And you can type domain dice in the chat and find out what those are all about. Resubscriptions, subscriptions, a $5 tip, or 500 bits gives us some domain dice that we can use, and we're in dire need of them. We've only got 3 left. In this game, they're called Domain Dragons. They're represented by the golden dragon coins between Megan and Dwight, that there are 3 of them. Whose idea was it to put all the gold between the 2 rogues? That was not very smart. That's where they're all going. Megan and Dwight are skimming the domain dice off the top.
And you left me in charge of the group money, so...
Yeah, that's true. The rogue mastermind is handling all of our money. That's great. But I do want to say real quick, if you like what's going on here at Mini Terrain Domain, I don't do this very often. I try to keep it down to about once a month, but if you like what we're doing here at Mini Terrain Domain, if you like these live stream games, or over on YouTube, I do crafting tutorials, RPG product reviews, and I am doing, I'm in the early stages of launching a new role-playing game podcast. You'll want to stay tuned for that. But you can type support, exclamation point support, in the chat. There's links to various things. There's links down below to the Patreon, and we have a Ko-Fi page. The tips during the games help a lot. All of that actually goes directly into the channel. I use all of those things to help make improvements to, like, the microphones, the lights, the green screen. Up next, my eyes are getting old and I'm struggling to see these tiny monitors. So I've got a monitor upgrade up on deck next. So I just wanted to put that out there. But also another way you can support us is just by watching us. We've got D&D on Sunday nights with Megan and Mike, along with Connor and Marquise, in our Chult of Personality Tomb of Annihilation campaign that we just wrapped up session 46. And after a year and a half, more than a year and a half, like a year and 3/4, 46 sessions, approximately 135 hours of play so far, they are just now entering the actual Tomb of Annihilation. So things are getting serious. We've got this game on Monday nights, and then coming on September 10th is a new campaign series every other Tuesday called Legends and Legacies, with brand new level 1 characters set in the Phandelver setting. And on Thursday nights, we have our Dawnbringers, which is in Season 3. We just wrapped Episode 5 last week. Megan is also a player in that, along with some other amazing players. We have 4 other players in that. And every other Wednesday, I skipped over Wednesday. It happened last week, so it's not happening this week. But every other Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, Megan is producing, Connor is game mastering, Philip, Lloyd, and Jeff are participating as well. Spire, The City Must Fall, a brand new campaign by Dice on Ice, presented by Mini Terrain Domains. You can watch that right here at 8 or at 9 p.m. on Wednesdays, every other Wednesday, and you can catch the VODs for a limited time here on the Twitch channel. But you'll definitely want to head over to Dice on Ice, subscribe to them so you can stay up to date on what they got going on. Whew. Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anything? I think I got all the announcements out. I'm ready to get back into the City of Splendors, play some Dungeons and Dragons. So, Mike, I'm turning it over to you. Whether you're ready or not.
No, I was totally ready. I just like that pregnant pause to make things awkward. Because, if not, things can't run smoothly here. Not in Waterdeep. All right. Well, before we jump into your imminent demise, maybe not so imminent, so I can just kind of drag it out. Maybe someone can give me the recap. Hasn't done it in a while. Megan hasn't done it in a while. Megan should give the recap.
Okay.
Well done. Up in my face.
Anna was gone, unfortunately, but in her place, Chiaria managed to come back and greet the others, and it was a very, very happy reunion. They went off. Everyone went off, decided to go to and see the show that was going on. But they were... Wow, okay. I listened to this. So they were sidetracked, or they went to see this tower that Chiaria found out from some sailors that was haunted. And they were trying to find the Stone of Golor. And they went in and they realized, to their horror, I suppose, that they could not use magic in this tower. And then the drow attacked them. One that had gotten to them before and had actually shot 6 at one point and chased. They gave chase. The drow took the stone and were running away with it, but the team managed to get them, managed to down all the drow, and they cornered the last one, and they managed to take him down. However, the stone ended up in the drink at the bottom of the ocean of
Bloop.
Big ol'.
Nice.
So that was absolutely perfect. I got nothing else. So that's the end of our campaign. Thanks everyone for showing up. This has been a blast. Well, I guess we'll keep playing. So, if there aren't any more questions, I say we dive right in.
Let's do it.
Six, as you stand over the body of one of these drow, a scent on the wind catches you. And you don't quite notice it at first, but as it kind of flutters in and out of your sight, you get this tiny sight of red kind of flying in the air. And sure enough, as it passes your vision, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, I like this. Let's start right off.
Yep.
All right, dexterity saving throw. That is a natural 1. So I'm going to burn one of these domain dice because I don't use them very often.
Dang, okay. Well,
and
if I had known it was this easy.
It is now a 14.
All right. Instinctively, as whatever it is passes in front of your face very slowly, you kind of reach out and grab it. It is a feather, and it looks like the feather of a raven. It is rather large, but unlike a standard black raven's feather, this is a beautiful crimson red. Patterned on in what looks to be silver ink is written, "I am sorry that I could not stay, but I am been forced to leave. I don't want the Castellanters to find me, and I fear that my angelic outburst would cause some problems." And then there's a very beautiful stylized K. And as you kind of look at the feather and turn it over, looking down, just because you move the feather out of the way, looking down near the dead drow, you, for some incredibly lucky reason, find a silver piece. Just see it laying on the ground. Lucky you.
I will pick up the silver piece.
And you die. No. So, yep, plunk it into your coin purse. You now have one silver piece that you can share with everyone else if you really wanted to, I guess.
I'm not going to worry about splitting this silver piece, but I'm going to take this feather and I'm going to remove my hat. And I'm going to tuck it up inside the band of the hat on the inside. For I appreciate the feather, but I do not want to advertise, or should it fall away. I want to keep her movements and whereabouts secret. So I'm going to tuck this inside the safety of my hat, but I'm going to keep it close.
It's a good spot for it. Okay. And then it's around this time that both you, Asche, and you, Bevyn, kind of catch up from trying to chase down and run to this area that you're in, and what an area it is. I have sent you, 4 players, I've sent you guys the map of Mistshore. It is in the Facebook group, so in case not all of you have seen it. It is in the front. You guys are situated essentially in kind of the upper part of the map. There is a ruined area with what looks to be an old, dilapidated, barely held together vessel, rather large boat, with a kind of like a kind of a small little like aft castle with a decking. The mast is cracked and it looks like it's in danger of falling into the water. The more you look around this area of the city, the more you realize that you are in probably what could be considered to be a shanty town section of Waterdeep. All the homes look to be just ramshackle shacks put together with broken pieces of timber and bits of flotsam and jetsam that people have like either dredged up or drug up, dredged off the seafloor or dragged in from floating atop. You even see at the very southern area what looks to be a large vessel, possibly definitely a ship, but possibly either pirate or merchant. You can't really tell. It has run aground into that area, but you do see a few people walking around up top. And again, you see some areas that looks like they've been devastated by a fire. But this was a long time. This must have been a long time ago. Most of them are just burnt out husks of homes, and you don't see very many people. Matter of fact, you virtually see no people. If you didn't have that kind of strange feeling in the back of your mind that you're being watched, you would swear this is an abandoned area of the city.
Where did you say we were on this?
So basically, you are in. If you can see, kind of if you look at like kind of the dead center, and you go up a bit, you can see one building that has been destroyed, and there's a small vessel that looks to be like kind of docked up in a kind of a obtuse angled dock.
Okay.
You're just around that area.
So I don't think it's any big secret that I don't like this water at all. But we can't just leave that thing in the bottom of the water.
Oh dang, I didn't see it go in the water.
Oh, did I not tell you that?
No, I've been running here. I'm really tired.
It dropped, it rolled, it went bloop.
Seriously? Oh shoot. Well, I can't go down there. Asche just looks at the water.
Wait,
certainly.
If you go in the water, will it turn you into like will it ruin your fire abilities?
I definitely can't, ignite anything.
I just don't like it. I don't like to be wet.
Yeah, it takes forever just to dry off, Mm-mm.
I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
Besides looking at this water,
who knows what's in it.
Ugh.
So, how do we get this out? I mean, how deep is it? How deep?
I have no idea how deep this is. Oh, I have an idea.
What?
Let me try something. We need something that is. Do you have a rock or something heavy? A hammer?
I mean, there's rubble over there. She points to one of the destroyed houses.
All right, I'll go look over there. Can I find? Is there like a good sized rock? Like a fist sized rock?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of like busted up pieces of stone, but you're able to find something.
All right, I'm gonna grab a rock, brick, whatever, and I'm gonna take my rope and tie it around the end of this, and then walk over to where we saw the stone drop in, and I'm just gonna start feeding it down in to see how deep the water is here.
So you're gonna tie a rope around it.
I'm tying a rope around the end of the rope around a stone, and then dropping it in like a depth gauge just to kind of let it out until it hits the bottom and see if I can get a sense of how deep it is.
And that reminds me, I totally forgot.
Oh.
Sorry, I forgot something that I have Mage Hand prepared. So maybe if it's not too deep, I could try and reach down there.
Quick question: how long is your rope?
50 feet.
Okay, so you try that, and you let it out, and let it play out, and let it play out, and you keep going until you reach the very end of the rope.
This does not look good.
Yeah, it's not what I expected for a harbor.
Well, I mean, I don't know anything about that. This is the closest I'm usually to the water, and that's only because that stone is worth a lot of money.
What about you, Bevyn? What do you think? I mean, I guess we should probably find Anna first, right? Or is she there?
He just magically appears behind us.
Poof.
I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, that's right.
Disguised as a rock.
I don't know, Anna, where would you have been?
After Anna went upstairs, she would have been staying there.
Doing that thing?
Yeah, lost in what she was doing, so much so that she forgot, like she didn't even pay attention to how much time had gone by.
Okay, that's not a problem. There you go. So it looks like it's just you three. Oh boy, without Anna, I fear that you guys are screwed. But we'll see how this works. This should work out.
Is there anything near? I mean, obviously this is a harbor of some sort. Is there anything that we would know about any of the operations? Anything nearby that might have any kind of salvage operations or anything like that we would know about?
Sorry, that's in Ghost of Salt Marsh. That's the name. That's the name of one of the adventures in Ghost of Salt Marsh. That's why I said that.
You know what? Make me a very high intelligence check.
That would be 12.
No, you're not 100%. Not 100% sure. I mean, you've got like a couple. Like you know that there's people that that basically comb the beaches and the harbors and any like stony shoals and stuff, looking for like any detritus to kind of like grab and sell. But for the most part, you don't know of anyone in particular that you know of does any serious salvaging operations here. That's not to say that there isn't. You just don't know.
I feel like we need... I don't know. Do you see anything, Bevyn?
Nothing. Nothing's really striking my fancy at this point.
Okay.
I'll be honest, this water-based stuff is kind of outside of my purview.
I imagine we should probably go look around, see if there's anybody that is more familiar with the docks. Maybe like we can find a net or something. Could possibly toss down there. Could I do like a perception check, see if people are at all around, as unlikely as that is?
Yeah, for sure. Go for it.
Okay.
Well, I roll some dice.
Okay.
For no reason.
All right. It is a 16.
Oh, okay, that's all right. So that's pretty good. So you notice with that roll, that's actually a really good roll. You can see on this large vessel, there appears to be quite a few individuals kind of walking around, but they don't appear to be doing anything with the ship. They just appear to be walking around. This is that beached ship at kind of the southern end of the map. They just appear to be walking around. A few of them kind of look like they're watching out. And with that really good perception roll, you feel like a couple of them are even watching you, just trying to kind of keep an eye on things. Other than that, looking more at the vessel, you can tell that looks like a piece of the side has been cut away, kind of in the bilge deck, the very bottom deck, and there seems to be a ramp that is going out from the like all from the ground up into this this vessel.
Okay. So I can just see. Is it nighttime now as well?
No, it's not quite nighttime yet. It's about 5:30. So
Okay.
I mean, you still got a little bit of daylight left, though it's starting to dwindle.
Okay. So it looks like there's some people over there on that ship. Is that ship stuck on the ground? Oh my god.
Are you suggesting that we talk to somebody that lives on one of these ships for help? Look,
I mean,
I don't like to judge people, but I'm totally judging the people that are here.
well, I mean, there's not. I don't want to get in the water, and it's also a lot deeper than we anticipated. I think we're gonna need help on this. Unless you got some cool magic spell up your sleeve. 6.
I'm going to be honest. Most of my magic is what helps me with my performances. You know, I can fix a wound here or there, but it's all about explosions and invisibility and knives and swords and a little bit of laughter. I mean, that's about all I can do.
All right.
I imagine I would probably be like an out of this world swimmer, but I never grew up around the water rather. So I'm not willing to test that theory.
I feel like fur plus clothes and weapons would probably weigh you down pretty significantly.
So you already know more about this than I do.
It's just a thought, just a hunch. But
Bevyn,
how do we
do
get
you
Anna?
swim?
I swim, but not to the end of that rope.
I mean, is that deep as far as water is concerned?
I can I can swim to about the depth of 2 men standing on top of each other, but not.
That doesn't seem very deep at all.
It's.
But also, it seems very deep. Anna. Yes. Now, Anna does not have any magic, but maybe she's got some ideas. Give me a minute. And I'm going to pull out one of the several paper birds that I have. And I'm going to write a quick note to Anna and tell her where we are. And then I will say, once I've written on it, I will hold it up, Anna, and whisper to it and send it out into the air.
Right. So it's going to be a little while before that'll reach you, Anna. But in the meantime, what would you three want to do?
So real quick,
Yep.
I have set up a map screen, just so that others can get a sense of what we are looking at.
Oh, dope.
Cool.
Ooh,
So,
pretty.
yep, this is the map that Mike shared with us. We are in that rubble pile up near the top center sort of area, or rather just slightly below that, where that ship, like Mike described. If I'm correct, Mike, where that little angular dock is in the middle.
Yep.
Looks like it's a little patrol boat from Battleship. Okay. I just wanted to share that to have a handy reference, and just let me know if you want to showcase the map at all again.
Okay. Sounds good.
So I wonder who. I guess while Anna is on her way here, we should probably scope out the place I mean, I see there's a way into that ship over there, but I don't know. Do we even want to walk up to that ship? Those guys look a little I mean, they got an eye on us.
I don't know. You're the idea man here, Bevyn.
So where did this, in relation to this map, where did this thing, where did it wind up?
It got thrown like past that ship and just sunk.
So it's out past the big ship then.
Well, it's out. It's out past the boat that you were currently standing in front of.
Okay.
What a predicament you put us in, Mike.
That would roll.
Oh gosh.
You can't fight your way out of this one, can you?
No. That's upsetting.
I think at this point, I'm like kind of sitting on a pile of rubble. I've got my pack between my legs, and I'm just rummaging through it, pulling out like one of these adjustable stilts and looking around. And here's a box. I open the lid for a second. Close that. Oh, this is no, a mask, a pipe, a flute. I don't know. I don't have anything that is useful in retrieving magical stones from deep water.
Let's see. But it is a magical stone. Could I? No, I don't think that would work. I was going to see if I could cast Detect Magic to see where exactly it is.
You most certainly can.
Okay.
Go for it.
Maybe. The murky water. Let's see. It's 16. I don't remember if I add anything to that. I guess not, right?
Do you roll for Detect Magic?
No, you don't know. You don't have to roll for Detect Magic.
Oh, well, I did.
Well, I mean, you know what? I'll allow it. So as you kind of stare and the spell begins to take form, it's almost as if everything just kind of goes like dark. The ships, the burnt out hulks of ships that have been beached and everything else just seems like slightly darker. Everything is in extremely dark shades of like gray. And no, there's not 50 of them. So let's just put that baby to bed. Great. So as you stare out, though, you see little flickers. It's almost as if like just all the lights going out and fireflies just like kind of flickering in and out. You see small bits of magic kind of everywhere. It almost seems like it's like the sea in behind you in the lights, but also out there on the water. But sure enough, one in particular, you can see it quite clearly. It is shining, and it's shining brightly against this very gray, dark gray backdrop.
Cool. Man, I wish you guys could see what I was seeing right now. There's Asche almost
before you see that, you do get an ad because you didn't cast ad block first.
I get an ad? Ah, dang it. Freaking pop-ups.
Yeah, I know. And the worst part is it's for like some terrible tavern in the trades wards.
And it's unskippable for the first 30 seconds duration of your spell.
Yep. And the ad lasts for exactly 30 seconds. That's the worst part. Yeah, I know.
So, approximately in feet, how far would you say what I presume our magic item is? How far it is?
It's I mean, this drow threw it really, really well, and so it must have thrown it about at least 75 feet from the dock, and then down. And if you were to gauge distance, you'd probably say it's a good. It's actually a good 80 feet down. It seems that I guess the dock, or at least the water, the beach, as it were, the sand goes down and then goes kind of straight down into what looks to be kind of like a bowl or a small caldera kind of a thing, like this kind of like depression in the ground of the water. So you just have this kind of sudden drop off.
Okay. Crud. I have a wild idea, but I think it's a really bad idea. I think it's a terrible idea. I don't think it's gonna work.
Is that you, or is that Asche saying this?
Me personally. Definitely me. So if I pose this to the group, we know we have at least one 50-foot rope, and because I have my explorer pack, I would also have one, so 100 feet there. Asche can swim, and with this detect magic, it's for at least 10 minutes. She has... No, it's too out there. She has clay, or at least would know where to find some. And because detect magic can penetrate most barriers, I was going to have her theoretically take wet clay, make a mask, harden it with fire, so that way there's an air pocket to help to let her breathe for at least a little bit if she did have to try and dive down. But that sounds crazy.
You said a whole lot of things.
I can't hear you, Mike.
Mike's muted. Classic.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm not letting you have a domain die for that. So, so one thing about that, and that is actually a very, very. Oh, right, because it's your Twitch. Anyway, well played, sir. That's actually a really, really cool idea. The only problem is going to be the amount of air.
Yes.
So while you could use that as kind of like a mini bathysphere, which would be pretty cool, unfortunately the mini aspect would be you could probably give yourself one breath and you'd probably drown, especially 80 feet down. That'd be a little bit much.
I mean,
It'd be a lot.
I don't.
20,000%. That was such a freaking cool idea.
I don't know much about water, but I mean, how long does it take to swim that far?
It's not too bad. Like,
I mean, you probably wouldn't drown before you came back, right?
No, I think I want to say because she's a fire ganassi, she's not going to have a lot of experience with water, and is probably a terrible swimmer. If it was even just your regular human being getting 75 feet out, like, I swim, that's not a problem. But I don't think Asche would be amazing at it.
But I mean, here's the positive thing.
Yeah.
Looking at the bright side.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, we're the only ones that knows what that was and where it is.
That is true.
I mean, these guys aren't talking. Pointing to the dead drow.
The dead drow. So yeah, we could just leave it for now and just, if anyone asks, we say, I just lost a gold piece of the water, or no, copper. I don't know. Something nobody wants. Something nobody wants.
It was literally a rock.
It was literally a rock. Exactly. All right. But I have no clue how we're gonna get that thing out of there. Honestly. I think we need a fisherman or somebody, or what if we tell the guy that we had to meet to deliver the stone of gore, maybe he has some suggestions.
Do you want to go tell the person that we were supposed to bring it for?
No, nope. Sorry, I take it back. It's a bad idea.
I was just clearing up so we were on the same page.
I know, you were clearing it up, and then I realized that would be a bad idea.
Oh, and for the record, just completely out of character, the world record for holding your breath is 22 minutes and 22 seconds. There you go.
When you get a number of minutes equal to your con modifier?
I didn't hear any of it. Sorry.
I said the world record for someone holding their breath belongs to a free diver, and it's 22 minutes and 22 seconds.
That is incredible. Holy cow.
Yeah, I know. That's like an actual episode of TV without the commercials. That's insane.
Yeah.
But there you go.
So we are not professionals. So I don't think that's going to work.
That's also true.
Crap. Okay. So why don't we go see if maybe any of those guys are fishermen and might be able to help us out. Or we can go scour the buildings for any supplies, but I think Ash should just be looking between Six and Bevyn. I'm not quite sure what to do.
Yeah, I think, Bevyn's just been wandering around, trying to get all angles of the area where this is around, just trying to see if I can see anything at all. So, is there anything out there that, or am I just seeing deep water?
Well, I mean, you see, like I said, a lot of ships. You see what looks to be even been some bits of ships that might still be sunk a bit. But you don't see a way down that's not going to be underwater.
So should we just wait for Anna to get here so she can tell us her idea? If she has one. Her suggestion.
Yeah, and I think at this point, Anna, a paper bird kind of flutters in through the window, a little bit damp from the mist and everything else, and kind of unfolds, and yeah, letting you know where they are, and that if you wanted to go and find them, you certainly can.
I imagine that Anna is very focused on something. She's set up this little table in her room, and this is probably the most focused you've ever seen Anna. And a small little paper bird comes and kind of hits her on the head and rolls open. What does it say on it? It just says where you guys are.
Yeah, it basically just says, "Hello, Anna 86. We are down here by this place at this street. Actually, I'll tell you where we are. Trying to curry as much favor with the DM as possible. We are... here we go. Off of... Oh, we were down near Codleen and Astral Way. Is where the theater was. So I don't know. I basically just described where we were.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, it's you guys had basically run across down because you were in what was it? Kind of Dar Alley and Ship Street, in around that area, and basically you just essentially ran kind of to the right and just ran to the water. So you're kind of now looking around. It's tough to see because there's not really a lot of, this area is not well maintained, but I could say that fairly that you're kind of near Fish Gut Alley and Dock Street, and kind of on that area. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
my
so
short.
basically that's what I tell you, and then I finish it just by saying, if you're not too busy, you could come join us. And then
No pressure.
very ostentatiously, the remainder of the space on the note is filled with the giant letter S, and then the flourish of IX.
Anna would kind of sigh, and she would take this small vial of what she had been working on, slip it into her pocket, and start after where they are.
All right. Are you going to spend some cash to get there quicker? All right.
Yes. Yep.
So knock 10 silver off for a carriage. It actually takes you a little while to find a carriage that will actually go there. And most of the carriages you're like, I got to get to, and, tell the address. They're like, no, I don't go there. And many of them pass by until you get one carriage is kind of shoddy, kind of opens up the door. Fine. Yeah. 10 silver up front, demands money up front. So whether or not you choose to give it to them. Cool. That's smart. And then grabs the money and then kind of like takes off rather quickly. Takes you about probably around 10, 15 minutes to get there as this driver clearly cares not for people walking or anything, just kind of drives quite recklessly and kind of stops actually right near a place that you've all been before, at least most of you. Stops you in front of Fellhauer's Fine Fish. Stopping in front of there, he lets you out. It's just down the way, and then turns around and then books it.
Anna would, she furrows her brow. This must be somewhere quite dangerous. But she would continue as casually as she can down the way.
Okay. And yeah, you make it eventually. You can see that the buildings get worse and worse and worse the closer you get to the water in this kind of this block, to a point where it's little more than a shanty town. But at least you're all together.
So you see Anna walking up. Did you miss me?
You missed a lot. You missed a lot. Kiara was here and everything, and we chased these drow that had a stone, and now it's lost in this harbor, and now we don't know what to do.
Whoa. All right. Let's start from the beginning. That was a lot.
Yes.
Kiara, is she still here?
No, she had to leave very suddenly. She is worried about the Castellanthers discovering her. But she was with us for a little bit. It was quite nice.
All right. You would see Anna's shoulders just slump ever so slightly. And you were saying something about drow?
I just gesture at the dead drow on the ground. We
I'm
should
sure she
probably
would-
do something about these, actually.
Yes, we should.
I'm sure she would recognize the one drow. Or
You
Would
wouldn't
you?
have seen that one because that one was back in the tower where they got killed. So this is another drow, dressed very much the same, though different, but still in like kind of light pants, a light tunic. Looks like they're dressed more for movement than actual armor. Though this one has some leather armor. It looks like he was definitely on a place where movement is important.
Right. Glad you got that. And what about a stone?
Oh, so we went back to the Seven Masks place, and we got information that led to us going into a tower, and apparently could not use magic in that tower. So the drow were originally invisible. They ambushed us, but of course, once they got inside, we could see them. And all in all, the Stone of Galore was there. They took it, ran. We managed to take him down, but the last one here, and Asche motions at the dead one, he tossed the stone, what we believe is the actual stone, like almost 75 feet out or so. Like it's in the harbor, and we're not sure how to get it.
Bloop.
And you're sure it's the right stone this time, not like last time?
Given the much of a fight that these drow put up, and they were quite literally willing to die to get it, it seems pretty likely that this was the actual stone that we are looking for.
Didn't it mess you up a little bit there, Six? You
Wait.
grabbed it out of the pot?
I'm afraid I have no idea what you are talking about.
I turned to Anna. He grabbed it out of he reached in and grabbed it, and well, he didn't say anything or move for quite a while. It was kind of nice, actually.
Oh, can't believe I missed that. Some silence. Right. Well, do you got any ideas how to get it out?
I'm kind of stumped on this one. I'm used to breaking into buildings, and I've never had to get into water to get anything.
Yeah, and I had some crazy idea, but I'm not a good swimmer.
It seems very dangerous. Anna, do you swim?
The look on your face.
I can swim, but you said it was way far out. I don't think that anyone could swim.
It's more. It's not so much how far out it is. It's how far down it is.
Yeah.
Right. Would there be any indication of whether this would be high tide or low tide going on right now?
That's a good question.
It is most certainly high tide.
Wait a minute.
In
What is tides?
especially in the evening, the tide has definitely come in. But interestingly enough, because this is not a beach, because this is more of a kind of a rocky shoal with a kind of like a deep way down, it's not quite as noticeable. But just given the time of day, yes, it would be high tide.
Okay. And what about, I don't know, some of you magic people have this stuff. I'm sure there's something we could use.
You've seen the most of my magic.
I'm not talking about your magic. They got potions and stuff for everything. Yeah, don't they?
Oh, I didn't consider that. Probably.
6 and Bevyn. Can you please tell me your passive perception?
13.
13.
That's kind of close. All right, give me one. Cool, just had to roll for that. The two of you kind of noticed that the individuals that Asche had pointed out, a few of them are kind of starting to come towards you guys. I'd say there's probably around 10 of them.
We should probably leave.
We've got some company heading this way.
Yeah, we should probably take off unless they don't look particularly friendly, do they?
I mean, they're dressed in leather armor. Most of it's like piecemeal leather armor, probably taken off of like people who have drowned in that area. A few of them are brandishing like sticks, and by sticks I mean clubs, and by clubs I mean like clubs with like you could see like wooden, like sharpened wooden stakes kind of like tied up to them, so it looks a lot more menacing. You know, most of them are wearing boots.
Don't you think if
like the 10 of them, it's probably a full set of teeth.
Okay.
Don't you think if we ran, we'd look even more guilty? Then they'd look around, and then they might find some things.
Well, we don't need to literally run.
I don't know
Let's
that.
just...
I don't know that these people are the kind of people that are going to care whether or not we are guilty or innocent.
In their eyes. I'm not talking about the law. I'm talking about their...
Oh, I get that.
Right.
These look like, not no offense, but these kind of look like the kind of people I would expect to see maybe you hanging out with.
Thank you.
At this point, discussing about your plans, they're within about 15 feet. One of them, you see, he appears to be kind of more in a leadership position. You see what looks to be kind of a gaffer staff, which is like if you've seen a gaff, it's basically a long pole with a hook that is used to kind of like pull in like ropes and sails and other such things as needed. But on this gaffer stick, instead of the usual hook, which it looks like it's been snapped off, it appears to be the figurehead from a ship. And when I mean the figurehead from a ship, I mean the head. Like someone had torn the head off of the figurehead and kind of tied it to this stick to make some sort of makeshift maul, which is basically a big old sledgehammer. You can see now that the figurehead has makeup. I don't know why that is, and let's not ask him. But he looks at you and kind of like snaps the pole kind of like in between, holding it in kind of like in the crooks of his arms like this. What are you doing here? Aye?
Well, don't mind us. We didn't mean to interrupt you and your girlfriend there while you were out for a stroll along the dock.
Damn it. You got me. You what?
6, what are you doing?
No judgment here. It's just very clearly he cares very much for his lady friend there. And he's taking her out for a stroll along the docks here. I did not. Maybe we are in their way.
He goes from kind of like a relaxed position to kind of a ready position, kind of holding them all. Kind of like stands the pole like this. He looks back at the other 9 individuals who begin kind of like moving around you in kind of a circle. Now, tell me again, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. Miss Shore's not your own.
Can you not see? We just got chased. And she kind of kicks the body of the drow. We had to get rid of these guys.
Well, looks like you got rid of them. And yet
Right.
you're still here.
We were just leaving.
You 4 are coming with me.
So, why?
Dunno, maybe because there's 9 of us and 4 of you, and I'm telling you that you're coming back with us to the Kraken's folly.
And
How many drow were there the last time?
There's just the one that you could see. The other one died on the rooftop.
Okay.
I mean, how many total drow were we fighting in the tower?
3. Well, you were fighting the one drow, and the other 2 scarpered off and made a run for it. And you guys were chasing, and as you chased, you dropped one, or you killed another one, and then finally you killed one at the water's edge.
I would like to try and charm person if everyone's okay with that.
I mean, unless you're asking us out
yeah,
loud.
I don't think
No, I'd probably look at everyone and be like, should I do it? Should I do that thing?
And I would look back at you and go, I don't know. I can probably take at least 3 of them.
I don't
So-
want to do it without everybody.
That's not a problem. Just to let you know, once charm person wears off, I believe the person knows that they've been charmed.
But it does last for an hour. I feel like we could get a lot done in an hour. Potentially.
True.
I see
So-
these looks of skepticism.
are these guys look like they just look like they're ruffians from around, or are they?
Yeah, it wouldn't take a roll for you to figure out that these guys must be bandits. They must be they make me a perception check.
Me too.
Yeah, no, it's okay. All right. So yeah, they definitely seem like ruffians. They definitely seem like bandits for hire, thugs for hire. But they appear to be kind of in their spot, and seems to be their area on top of the ship.
So, I'm just curious. If we were to go back with you to this Kraken's Folly, what is there? Are you inviting us to dinner? Is it a show? Is your girlfriend going to cook for us?
6.
What?
You talk.
I'm just trying to get a sense of these gentlemen. They come off from all the way over there from where they were, clearly to invite us for some kind of
Shut
entertainment.
up. Come on. And we're not taking no for an answer.
I'm resting my hand on the hilt of my blades, and I just look at Bevyn, shrugging
me-
my shoulders.
The other 9 have moved kind of behind you now, and they're all kind of holding spiked clubs, or clubs in some fashion. One of them even has, at one point, could have been a longsword, but now it's kind of a broken short sword. So yeah, the blade's been snapped off, and it still has a pretty sharp point, but it's not exactly a long sword no more.
Look, we've had a bit of trouble here, as you can see, and I point to the drow. They've knocked something important to us in the water, and we're just trying to get it back. Now, do you know anybody that can?
Tell the boss that. Now come on, and 3 of them behind start kind of pushing you towards the vessel.
You know, it does not surprise me that this guy is not in charge. So maybe we should see his boss.
Well, last time we got into trouble around a boat, we took the wrong way around. So maybe we just go with him.
All right.
I'm
So-
so glad you guys called me back here. This is exactly what I wanted.
As we get to the boat, I turn to 6. No costumes this time.
But they've all seen me already. Well, there's no point in that.
No costumes this time.
So as you make your way up, they actually go through the ramp from the ground up and in, and you see now that the entire ship has been repurposed into what looks to be a tenement. Many of the people just seem to be just incredibly poor people. A lot of homeless people who have just made sections of kind of areas like off to one side. and everyone seems to be kind of working together. Like people are helping each other. Some people are taking care of kids. People are kind of helping to cook. You see a few kind of like little cook fires going, and as they're walking by, you see a few of these brigands. They're kind of waving to a few of the people. One child comes up and kind of hugs onto the large fellow with the figurehead maul, hugs him, and he just kind of pats his head, the child's head, and kind of hands the child like what looks to be like a small like a berry or something like that, like just a small bit of food. And as they're walking through, not really saying anything to you, but they're talking, or at least acknowledging everyone else around as they kind of make their way up the vessel. At the very top of the vessel, you see a woman, and she is dressed up like she would have captained this vessel at one point, years and years ago, but no longer. Clearly, no longer. She stands kind of looking out to sea with her spyglass. She kind of grabs the spyglass and kind of like closes it all together. Turns, and she kind of turns to face you all. She's a half elf, and she kind of crosses her arms and walks up to you all and says, "You're a long way from home. I imagine that home is not anywhere near here. So, who are you, and why are you here in Mistshore?" Yes, you are.
Well, as we were telling your very nice friends here, we ran into some trouble with some drow, and we dealt with them.
Oh, I see. So you're not here for anything else, then? While we hire out our services to less savory individuals, it helps to bring food to the families and the people who live here. So...
You could have just had your men say that instead of threaten us, poke us.
Look at them. Do they look like the group of 20-something individuals who would gladly walk up and diplomatically invite someone on board this vessel and have said group of individuals say, "Why, yes, we would absolutely love to join you for tea"?
No, but you didn't
and
have
looking
to.
And looking over, you see one of them, and he kind of grins at you, and he's got like 2 teeth, like just 2 teeth, and they're on opposite sides. It's like some cruel twist of dental fate that has like made these 2 teeth on opposite sides inoperable, and his gums are all black, and he seems to be like scratching at his armpit a lot.
No, but I feel like that's a bad business to threaten potential customers. Not that we were just walking about.
True. But see, here's the other thing. There are many individuals here that would gladly take these people away, and we would never see them again. Now, as much as I would love to bring down such individuals, these slavers that would kidnap people from cities and then bring them halfway across Faerun, never to be seen again, unfortunately, I can't. But here we are. For example, the Growlhuns are notorious slavers, although they mask it behind some very, legitimate businesses. The Castellantas have done the same, though no one can prove it, because of course not. But here we are. We look after our own. We look after the people here around Mistshore. Thankfully, Fellhauer has assisted us in getting a few odd jobs here and there. Wasn't for him, we'd probably starve. I would like to invite you for tea. If you would like to sit and have something hot to drink.
Graciously accept.
Wonderful. And she kind of clicks her heels together and begins to walk towards the aft castle and opens up the door, even though it's on a slant, so it doesn't like kind of stay open as she opens it. Kind of wants to like close up, but she opens it up and there's a table, and she kind of calls to one of the individuals, one of her crew, to come in with some tea, and he goes scurrying off. Well, please sit. Unfortunately, most of our food goes to everyone living in the tenements, but so if you were chased, why were you chased? Or were you the ones doing the chasing?
I think Asche will just look at Bevyn for this.
Well, there's a little bit of both. We were down here trying to fetch something for an associate of ours, and well, we were bushwhacked by some drow. So we had to take care of them.
Makes sense. Did you find your item of unknown origin and description?
We did, briefly. And that's when the drow showed up, and well, one thing led to another, and now the drow are dead, and what we're looking for wound up on the bottom of the harbor. We've got to find a way to get at it.
Ah, well, best of luck on that. I could suggest going and finding a druid or some other individual. Buy yourself a potion of water breathing if you really want to, I suppose.
Wait. You're telling me that there is a potion that would let you breathe water?
Are you new to this world? Are you new to Faerun? Is Faerun, like, did you come from a place where magic does not exist? Of course. I mean, water breathing would be the most simplest of spells.
I do a lot of magic, and I have never breathed water.
You just see Bevyn just kind of slumps in his chair, and there's just this like dark look on his face as he just self-loathing. How did I not think of this?
Anna just kind of throws up her hands a little bit and in like a kind of "I told you so."
Bevyn, did you know about this? Did you know there were potions that you could breathe water?
Like I said, I don't spend a lot of time with the water, so it just never crossed my mind, but sometimes that happens.
There's one other place, or there's one other option that you have, though I wouldn't suggest it. There is a treasure hunter here. Her name is Grinda. She has a strange device that would allow you to travel under the water. If you wanted to try to speak with her, you could. But there is a small thing. She is barking mad. So there's that. But I'm sure she might allow you to borrow her, whatever it's called. It's a weird looking thing. I've seen it once. Very, very strange. Looked like a large mechanical spider thing. I don't know. But at any rate, you can speak to her if you wish. Like I said, she's barking mad. Oh,
So
and
your first idea was
I'm sorry?
Or our style, but is there a place nearby that you know of that sells spells nearby? And we can head back into town, but I'd prefer not to spend too much time.
No, I can understand that. I mean, I guess you could try old Zoblob shop. Other than that, the dock ward isn't really a place where you would find much in the realm of magic. If you don't mind moving along from the dock ward into the southern ward, you could probably go to the magic district. It's a bit dangerous, but there's there.
Magic district is dangerous?
Yes,
What?
I know. Yes, I know.
I'm
But
sorry.
it's around an area called the Colat's Towers. It is a place where many individuals go to train and whatnot. But again, do be careful. It is very, very, it can be very dangerous. And Colat's Towers they seem to be run by an individual that I would rather not meet ever anywhere. But however, if you will, that is a place you can go.
I vote we go talk to this barking mad lady. She seems less dangerous.
Yeah, let's go give it a shot.
I mean, is she near here?
Yes, if you just walk past, if you go afterwards of the ship, which kind of points behind her, past the rudder, you will see a dock. At the end of the dock is a repurposed ship that is lying on its side, that has been repurposed into homes. But if you look to your immediate right, you're going to see a small home, the home of Grinda Garloff. And all I can say is good luck with that. But here's the tea. And the bandit or thug kind of comes in and starts setting down teacups, most of them cleanish, but sets it down. And this is where we're going to take our 10-minute break. While you guys formulate a plan to speak to the barking mad person. Sure is going to be fine.
While Anna and Bevyn plan, I'm going to start throwing all the tea in the harbor.
Gonna go great.
You're all screwed. But hey.
No, don't tell us that.
Okay.
Great words
You're
from your
gonna be
DM
mostly-
before you head into a break. You're screwed.
Oh, Christ.
You're mostly dead. Just not all the way dead.
But mostly.
But mostly dead.
Alrighty. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick 10-minute break. We will be back after these messages. Please stay tuned. Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is The Intermission. Mini Terrain Domain, or MTD, is a channel dedicated to the love of and participation in the world of tabletop role-playing games. Whether we're designing encounters or miniature terrain, building worlds, or just playing games, everything we do here is because we love this amazing hobby. That is why the mission statement of Mini Terrain Domain is simply imagine, build, play. If you like to watch live play or actual play D&D games, you can do so at twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain 3 days a week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. On Sundays, you can join us for Cult of Personality, a long-running campaign set in the Tomb of Annihilation adventure setting. On Mondays, you can join us for All That Glitters, a Waterdeep Dragon Heist campaign, guaranteed to be epic proportions. And every Thursday night, you can join us for Dawnbringers, the Forge of Fury. This is a series of mini campaigns going across the gamut of several well-known modules. Season 1, which is available on youtube.com/mini-terrain domain, took place in the Sunless Citadel. And Season 2 is currently taking place the Forge of Fury. If you can't join us in the chat for our live shows, that's okay. You can usually catch the roleplay, or rather the replay, on YouTube just 2 days later. If you're a fan of what we do here and you'd like to support what we do, there are a variety of ways you can do this. First, simply follow the Twitch channel or hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Next, make sure you follow all of the participants of each game or show on their various social media platforms. To do this, if you're watching live with us on Twitch, you can simply type an exclamation point and that person's name into the Twitch chat, or on YouTube, you can look down below the information bar and all of their links can be found there. Finally, if you would like to provide monetary support, which flows right back into the production of the channel so we can continue making great content, you can join the growing list of patrons on Patreon. Additionally, you can also use Ko-Fi or Coffee to buy a coffee or two. I like coffee. But the absolute best way to support the channel is to follow and subscribe on Twitch and YouTube and join us in the chat. If you have an Amazon Prime account and you link it to your Twitch account, you can subscribe one channel per month absolutely free. No matter what you decide to do, we are just happy to have you here. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more great content in just a few moments. Remember, metadata!
Hi everyone, I'm V and I have the YouTube channel The Crafting Muse. Please be sure to go over there and check it out if you too would like to learn how to make some tabletop terrain, paint miniatures, as well as some game accessories. I'm always happy to have new subscribers over there.
Learn the ways of the Game Master, the Dungeon Master, and delve into the minds of the players. If you're looking for adventure, excitement, thrills, and a dice-rolling good time, grab the modules each month and play the campaign with your gaming group with quest givers DM Scotty and DMG. They're taking you on an epic journey through the role-playing experience every Friday. You're sure to get hooked on adventure.
And we really liked the idea of creating adventures together, so we thought that'd be a lot of fun to share with you guys.
I didn't think this kind of stuff would come out of my brain. We are quest givers, and I'll see you in the next video.
Adventure Mixtape, a music and adventure anthology, is a collection of 4 adventures for the 5th edition of the world's most popular role-playing game. The adventures are setting neutral and meant to be seamlessly dropped into any world that has a large seaside city and a jungle environment. With a bit of adaptation, the environments could be changed to suit any group. In Treaty of the Tiger King by Kelsey Dion of the Arcane Library, a distant king arrives at the city to negotiate the peaceful end of a war, but the mercenary guild has other insidious plans for him. Will the players be able to thwart assassination attempts against King Rami and help him negotiate circles of social intrigue in order to finally end the war? In Madness of the Majestic Menagerie by Ken Brees of Burling's Beard, the famous Majestic Menagerie draws hordes of visitors to the metropolis and cultural hub known since time immemorial as Splendor by the Sea. But now the gates of the famous zoo have been shut and the grand opening of the new section has been jeopardized by a spate of mysterious accidents and, it's whispered, grievous injuries due to uncontrollable creatures. Mr. Majestic seeks to hire investigators and troubleshooters who can keep a low profile to iron out any problems before the impending grand opening becomes a complete disaster. Do you have what it takes to uncover what's driving the madness that's befallen the Majestic Menagerie? In The Infernal Collection by Sharm Biswas, when an influential fashion designer is found dead days before a major fashion show, heroes are called in to solve the mystery, prevent any further destruction, and help the fashion house prepare for the show. Gorillas in Their Midst by Jacob W. Norman of Mini Terrain Domain is a pulp action adventure wrought with perilous challenges and high possibility of death. But what is adventure without danger? Of course, there is the lure of vast piles of unclaimed treasure and the accompanying fame that await those intrepid adventurers who would defy the odds and plunge into the heart of darkness. In this adventure, the characters will face raging river rapids, wicked waterfalls, poisonous plants, venomous vines, sinking sands, treacherous traps, and the vicious jungle demon itself, Awakane Gori. Grab your satchels, fedoras, and bullwhips. Adventure awaits. The Adventure mixtape also comes with 4 original songs inspired by and written for the heroic adventures herein. This collection of music and story is something unique. We had no better word for it than mixtape. If you have received a CD or digital playlist curated to take you on a memorable journey, then you'll recognize what you find inside this volume. Also included in the Adventure mixtape, courtesy of Kelsey Dion of the Arcane Library, are exclusive combat cards. Special cards that contain all of the items, monsters, and spellcasters found within these adventures to make running your adventure all the more easier. Adventure Mixtape, a music and adventure anthology, is available exclusively on drivethrurpg.com.
Cryforth, once home to the most wondrous kingdom the world had ever known, blasted to nothing in just a fortnight. It is here that the fiends of hell walk among us. It is here where all things die. Welcome to Cryforth. Demon invaders roam the landscape and have conquered all. The world is a ravaged and wrathful wasteland where the old world lies buried beneath the blood and sand with its gods and its secrets. Water is fought over with blood and steel. Compatible with the 5th edition of the world's oldest fantasy role-playing game, this book contains all new character creation options, including all of the familiar classes with new aspects befitting the ravaged wastelands of Cryforth, along with new backgrounds, subclasses, spells, feats, and so much more. New races will allow you to play as the cursed Asche Elves, the Forsaken Humans, the Primordial Incarnal, the Proud Orcs, the Reptilian Suri, or the Infernal-Blooded Tieflings. New game mechanics such as blood, grit, and effort give your games an intense focus on lethality and survival. Numerous rules full of ideas to help bring your games to life. Featuring incredible thematic art by Brandish Gilhelm of Runehammer Games, as well as Lloyd Collins. The people of Cryforth are not heroes. In Cryforth it is courage just to survive. Will you rise to face the tide of demons, or will you succumb to the hostile elements? Available now on drivethrurpg.com.
And we're back.
True story. So, as you either have drank the tea, and for those of you who did drink the tea, it's actually kind of pleasant. But if you didn't drink the tea and you kind of tried to surreptitiously do it, you do it. But a few more bits of small talk. Are there any questions you wanted to ask This person who you find out her name is Remelia.
Remelia.
I think Anna would have brought it up that they are no friends of the Growlhuns or the Castellanters, and they've had a few run-ins themselves with them.
Does not surprise me in the least. I know our time's at an end nearabouts, and I know you have your own things to do, and the hour is getting late. But if you ever wanted to hire any of my crew, needed some extra muscle or anything, we do offer our services. It's 1 gold piece per individual. So if you ever wanted to get a few together for any reason in particular, just understand that, again, diplomacy is not their thing, and they just more like to hit things hard.
We'll
But
be sure to find you.
If you need some backup, you let me know.
Have you ever tried to get back at the Castellanters or the Growlhuns?
They're too powerful. Even if we tried to kill them, and understand that would be a dangerous undertaking upon itself, even if we tried, the penalty for killing a noble is death. And we have not the resources to be able to sneak in and find some damning evidence, and whether or not that even exists, I don't know. But one day I hope to bring them down, bring them all down.
Anna would nod her head a little more vigorously.
Well, thank you for the tea, Captain. I think we should try our luck with that interesting person you mentioned. Was it Ginda?
Oh, Grinda.
Grinda, thank you.
And small bit of advice. You've been kind, so I think I should do the same in return. Understand that she is a treasure hunter, and yes, her home is more than likely, actually almost assuredly, is probably filled with a few golden trinkets here and there. If you feel the need to liberate them from her clutches, I would highly suggest you don't. At all. If you see a string of pearls just laying there, touch nothing.
Understood.
Providing she even lets you in the door. So, that being said, she stands up. I wish you all good luck at getting whatever thing you need to be gotten. She walks up to the door. Yes?
How long were we there sipping tea?
Oh, probably like 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like an hour or something.
That's what I was wondering, if it was a short rest.
I mean,
which would be an hour.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been an hour.
Okay, that's fine. I was just curious.
But she does open the door to allow you all to leave unharmed, and sure enough, as you make your way back down through the tenements, though you're kind of provided with a bit of an escort, as some of them kind of, follow you through, and you are let outside, back into kind of that main dock area. As you walk your way out the dock, you have the directions, which I assume you're going to head in the direction of Grinda's place. Walking around, again, you see the largest residence you see as you're walking through seem to be the rats, as they, kind of scamper throughout Miss Shore's roadways, not fearful of you as you walk. I mean, these are very large bilge rats, and they look like puppy sized. They look like they would probably hurt you a lot. If you were level 1 and asked to clear a tavern basement of them. So as you make your way, you see a door, or you see the home of Grinda. It is looks like a simple kind of sort of one-story kind of home. There's a door. There's 2 doors, one off to the side, which looks like it has several bits of wood kind of nailed across it in such a way that no one's going in or out of that door. The other door you see is actually, it seems to be a fine wooden door that a player had dropped, and all of a sudden everything went to hell.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh Rinbreed. That was tougher than I thought. Hey, but the best part is that V's not here, so I am the one that gets the cleavage shot. You're welcome, Internet. Welcome.
Bevyn's just off the map completely. Bevyn, Dwight, lean off to the side.
Actually, I can see
other
Bevyn.
Other
Beautiful.
side, and then
Beautiful.
you and Megan are like it's like you're right next to each other.
Hello.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm gonna stay here and plot.
Wait, hold on. Hold on a second. Load. I'm going to. There we go.
This feels like a bad '70s sitcom right here. So.
Yeah, it's like Donnie and Marie, singing some weird song that Donnie and Marie would sing.
Well, hopefully she can. There she is.
There we go.
All right. So I just need. Yep, there we go. Cassie, you come in. Then Dwight.
Nice.
Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened.
That's all right.
Well, look in our Facebook chat, and you can see what Megan and Dwight were up to while you were gone.
What a great screenshot.
Love it. I love it.
Oh, crap.
I'll have to share that on Twitter later.
Oh, it's a good look.
So, as you make it to Grinda's door, you see it's a very nice carved door. It actually seems incredibly out of place with the other terrible areas of Mishore in general, but this seems to be a really nice door, and there seems to be what looks to be a knocker, just a simple knocker, uncarved on the door. It is closed.
I knock on the door with the knocker.
All right. So as you
and I push 6 in front of the door.
Wow. You don't hear any movement. You don't hear any footsteps or anything. However, behind you, you hear a voice. I don't know you. Do I know you? Do I owe you money? Do you owe me money? Why are you here? Who are you?
Hi, you're Grinda, right? We happen to know Captain Ramelia.
Sorry,
Ramelia.
are you talking to the door?
I'm talking to the voice behind us.
Okay.
Right?
Like you turn around. Okay.
Yeah.
So so you see a rather stout woman, shock white hair, wearing what looks to be large, kind of purple and turquoise robes, which are flecked with gold. She has spectacles, and she's kind of standing there, kind of crossing her arms. No, I don't know you at all. Never met you before. Not even you. And she points at you, Six.
This is true. I've never met you before, but why especially would you not know me?
Because I've never met a Tabaxi before. So first time, actually. It
Oh,
would be a bit. Yes, it would be rather exciting, but I'm rather pressingly busy. Anyway, what is it you want?
Well, I think we were hoping for your help, Miss Grinda. Actually, we lost something out in the harbor, and it's, especially with this high tide right now, we can't really reach it.
What did you lose?
I think I would look to Bevyn or Anna. I'm not sure how much I want to spill.
It's a rock. We lost a rock. Very
but it's a very important rock to us.
Yes.
You lost a rock.
And it's more of a stone, but yeah.
Is it a magic stone? And she kind of leans in a bit more.
Maybe. We think it is.
You think it's a magic stone that you want to go look for in a harbor that is probably filled with many stones at the bottom of Waterdeep.
We feel pretty confident that we can identify our very particular stone with your assistance.
You sound like barking lunatics.
Pardon me, you'll have to excuse me, but I am going to take a little bit of offense at the barking part.
No, you won't. And she walks towards her door. She walks right through you and then apparates into the door.
Right, we may be barking idiots, but we're barking idiots with gold.
I don't need gold. And you hear the voice from behind the door. However, the hour is late. Come by tomorrow morning, and you can do a little something for me, and then you can go look for your stone.
What? Can we have any idea as to what that something would be? You know, just so we could prepare.
Yes, you're going to go treasure hunting for me.
So we have to treasure hunt for you so we can treasure hunt for us.
Yes.
A little bit of squid pro quo.
Squid pro quo. Oh my god.
You can throw in whatever cephalopod you wish, but that's besides the point. Come back tomorrow.
Okay. I think Asche would look at everyone. I guess we could come out here tomorrow then. I mean, nothing else is going to be jumping into that harbor, I'm sure.
Well, we kind of went through a lot to try to get this thing, and as it stands right now, I mean, we've pretty much told like 10, 12, 20 people that we've dropped a stone in the harbor and that we really want it. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we should stick around and maybe keep an eye on this thing.
Suppose I wouldn't mind doing a shift, keeping an eye on things.
I mean, that's just what I'm thinking. We've got a lot at stake with these stone, and I'd hate to just leave and go through all these trouble and then find out, oh, it's not there.
I think Anna would walk a little bit away and kind of motion everyone else to walk away from the entrance of...
Fair enough. Yes. Asche would definitely follow Anna.
Granted, we only really told one person about a stone. We said we lost something, didn't we?
Well, regardless of what it is, we've told several people that we've lost something that we very much want to get out of the water.
Right. Who's going to guess that it's a stone? other than...
I don't know. I mean, if somebody... those Emilia and those others on the boat, sure, she seemed nice enough, but maybe they are waiting until we go home, and then they're like, oh, they're gone. Now we can use our underwater magic and we can get this thing, or maybe they have this thing that they say that this person has. And are we just going to ignore the fact that she walked right through me? Because that was a little weird. For me.
How did it feel?
It didn't. That's what was weird.
Yeah, I haven't seen magic quite like that. Yeah, maybe once, but I feel like that's pretty hard to do.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
At the Nobody's Inn at the Troll Skull Manor. From a certain ghost.
Oh, fair enough.
Ugh. At any rate, we've told enough people that something important is here. I'm just saying that maybe it's not a bad idea that we stick around.
Right. Maybe all of us shouldn't stick around, then they'd really get suspicious.
Oh, we don't have to stick around in plain sight, but...
Right. Maybe one at a time.
Look, if you need me to stay here all night, I'm perfectly fine to stay up all night watching this.
I don't know. You sound very tired, Six.
No, I think that's a great idea.
Seriously?
So you're planning on camping out?
Well, I mean,
would you have brought your bedrolls?
I have my pack.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm thinking. Let me look at this again.
Sure.
Perhaps one of us could go to the ship and speak to the captain. I'm sure, like, just to. I mean, they had a view of us, from their ship.
Hey, wait a minute. That reminds me.
What?
Of something that we learned literally like 10, 15 minutes ago. She said we could hire her peoples.
Oh, yes.
What if we pay them some money just to make sure that nobody gets our stuff?
Do we have money to spend?
You want to pay them to watch the water?
Yes, maybe.
I mean, Bevyn, are you not worried that somebody else might go in and get our... Go looking to see what it is that we are so curious to get a hold of?
I think they're going to find a floor full of rocks, and if they don't know what they're looking for, it's going to be hard to find. But if you're that worried about it, why are we waiting around? Why don't we go get one of those swimming potions and just go get it ourselves?
So not only do you want to... Never mind. I assume by ourselves you mean yourself.
One of us. I don't care which one.
One of you. To drink a potion and go under the water. Especially at night.
I mean, I think I really wouldn't want to do it, but I could always cast Detect Magic again, and then I'll definitely see where it is if I have to go in the water.
What time of of day is it?
So at this point, with all of your arguing and horrible scheming, it has to be probably somewhere in the effect of around 6:30, 7 o'clock. And of course, given the fact that it is autumn, because it's Faerunian autumn, it is definitely the last rays of sun have peeked over the horizon, and the sky is turning from kind of a bright pink orange to where you are now, which is starting to become like a kind of darker blue. It's not quite night yet, but it's dusk.
I think having the treasure hunters help is going to be make this a lot easier. right?
Oh, I mean, of course we're going to have to kill her. She's not already dead.
Wait,
What?
what? Haven't you already made enough ghosts?
I'm joking.
Are you?
To be fair, she's probably going to see the stone. It wouldn't take much to know maybe what it is. She like takes out her dagger and I think she like gives Bevyn this like sidelong like smile. She's just having a bit of fun with them.
Oh boy. Okay, Bevyn. So what are we going to do? Are we going to go buy a potion and then wait till morning? Or are we going to go somewhere and sleep? Do you want to stay here and watch it? Are we going to treasure hunt and then get the treasure hunt to help us?
I feel like we spent an awful lot of time messing around with this, and I'd like to just get it over.
Well, I'm not too convinced there's going to be a potion shop open at this hour of day, but...
That's true. Either way, it'd have to be when it's light out again.
Either way, we're ready to take care of this on our own without having to deal with the mad woman. Send us another wild goose chase.
I thought she was kind of cool, but
she didn't seem too bad so far.
Well, when it comes to buying a potion, Bevyn is the money man, so I defer to your management skills.
I feel like we were at Zoblob's pretty late that one time, so maybe we try there first.
I agree.
Let's do it.
Great. Off to Zoblob's we go.
Off to Zoblob's you go.
Zoblob. Zoblog.
Hope you like her.
So as you take a walk out of Mishore, you see it's a little bit harder to see now because it is getting dark, and the dark purple, or the purple, definitely is a kind of contrast to the other buildings, which are generally white, with kind of like just, typical wooden. Yeah, you've seen medieval buildings, except for this one, which is, purple, but it's kind of stands out darker.
I will blink and shift to dark vision and keep my eyes extra peeled in the shadows.
I too have dark vision.
You guys can all go full paranoia. I'm fine with that. But you don't see anything.
Dang it.
But you do see Zoblob's shop. There's kind of like a purple light. They seem to be like kind of dancing lights. They're kind of just moving and swaying to some unknown music. The door, it seems to be still open. And as you go in, roll initiative. No. As you go in, you see Zoblob casually leaning, almost as if you've left him exactly the same the last time you have been in this shop. He lazily kind of looks over, but not even making the full where he locks eyes on you. He just kind of does the halfway, like when you're trying to get a cat's attention, they're like, no, I'm just going to only half pay attention to you. And he says, you see, you are back again, and so soon as well. What can old Zoblob do for you?
Wouldn't by any chance have what do we call it? A potion of water breathing around these parts, would you?
Zoblob carries many curiosities. But I will have to roll a die to see if he's got one.
Hope so.
I'll say on a 15 plus, because that is the kind of thing that... And nope, that is a natural 1.
Oh, crap.
Domain die.
Can you re-roll it?
That cost us
Well,
our
it
last
cost
2.
Yeah, we only
Not
got
do it
2.
anyways.
Yeah, it's going to cost the last 2. Is it really that
No.
I'm fine with it if Bevyn and Anna are both shaking their heads, so
they're all okay?
we are all out of domain days. Somebody quick resubscribe or subscribe or
Somebody raid.
$5 tip,
Raid us.
500
Raid us, raid
bits.
us. All right.
We
I
need
am
your
rolling.
domain dice.
Oh!
Right on the money.
Money well spent.
Sorry if that was loud, everyone.
He kind of like stretches and places his pipe down on this holder, which looks like a couple of imps. Oh, there you go.
Thanks.
Holding
Fellowship.
the pipe, and he reaches down and pulls out this bottle of purple liquid, and places it down. Now I need to really quickly, because if memory serves me correctly, no, yes, no, yes. I have to remember exactly how
Dwight,
much.
Dwight with the meta magic.
Oops.
Magic.
Megan pulled that last night.
Whoops, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to look at that. Potion of water breathing. There it is. And we'll see how much this thing costs. Mother of God. So he looks at you and says, "That will be 150 gold."
125.
Make me a persuasion check.
Bevyn, I think he said 150.
14. Let me make sure. 14.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I said 150 gold.
Oh, wait. Is this that thing where you bargain?
Fair enough, Zublob. I pull out a change purse and I slide over the 150 gold.
Well then, a pleasure doing business with you.
Always. 6 if you need anything purple while we're here.
I'm already looking around the shop. Just looking for anything fancy that would catch my fancy that's a nice little purple flare.
You're just going to make me use all the things, aren't you? Also, hey everyone, just to let you know, the D&D Beyond, we're not sponsored by them, but I'll tell you, they're pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, I completely neglected to mention D&D Beyond at the beginning. Mini Terrain Domain is powered by D&D Beyond, which is why you can mouse over the overlay and see our character sheets and what our current status is. And lets Mike look things up when his players say, "Hey, what you got in the shop?"
Yeah, it's like, surprise! So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let, Megan, roll me the 10s of a D100, and Cassie, roll me the 1s on a D100. So just basically roll me a D10, and you're going to roll me the 10, Megan.
Alrighty.
I got 30.
Okay, in the 30s, and what do we got?
9.
39. Oh, interesting. Okay. 6, you grab what looks to be strangely an empty glass vial. It is purple. It has a stopper in it that looks kind of like decorated with looks to be like fake pearls and other things. As you kind of open the cork stopper and kind of like look inside, you get a smell of perfume, but not just any perfume. Like you know this perfume, you recognize the scent because it is very much the one like your mother wore.
I think you would actually hear an involuntary as 6 sort of begins to purr a little bit. This is wonderful. Where did you... This is kind of interesting. How much would you want for this, whatever it is? It's an okay scent.
Take it. I will not charge you for this. Anyone who has that sort of reaction to it must mean a lot to you.
This, and I would just find myself almost involuntarily again, pulling the stopper off and almost like just a little bit, not to let too much of this smell out. It reminds me of my mother. My mother wore this. I have not smelled this in so very long.
Unfortunately, I am closing now. So leave. Now.
Thank you very much.
Good. You are always welcome in Old Zoblob shop. But seriously, now leave. It's late and I want to go to sleep.
Come on, we've got to go. Well, good night. And I'm just out. As soon as I'm outside, I'm leaning against the wall, just clutching this vial to my chest.
Right. And I think that's actually a pretty good place to stop tonight. You are outside of Old Zoblob shop. You have, for all intents and purposes, a potion of water breathing, you think. And you are ready to dive in on this apparent stone that you think might be there.
Sorry, that just got me. You have a potion of water breathing, you think?
Maybe.
I mean, is anyone here a wizard or has any sort of skill in alchemy?
Man, I'm a sorcerer.
I could.
Is that?
But anyway, hey everyone. Thanks for coming out and joining us today in another thing of me slowly making my way until I can kill these wonderful, wonderful people. Well, these are characters. I'll let them live because they're cool. But you know, no mercy to these poor, unwitting souls of Waterdeep. So you know what? It was great having you all. Thank you so much. Thank you to Fellowship of the Tables for that awesome 500 bits. That was really, really nice. Thank you so much.
For those of you that might not know, Fellowship of the Table, it was formerly Chesic Student, is our channel moderator.
Cool.
And also big thanks to Dwight, who was desperate for another domain dragon, of course, which is sad. And but hey, you know, desperation calls. I get it. But yeah, and so you know what? We've had a great group of people watching. Don't worry, I'm going to try harder to kill these people. These fools are walking very well into my trap. And now I'm going to take it away to Jake.
All right, as Mike said, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thanks to Dwight and Fellowship for those bits and domain dragons. We greatly appreciate that. And all of that goes into the coffers of Mini Terrain Domain to help improve the channel. Thanks, Mike, for another amazing adventure. I love those little touchstones. I added the perfume vial using D&D Beyond and added the custom note, just like Mom used to wear, so that I know that is a special vial. Yeah, huge thank you to D&D Beyond for the insider access. That makes us so much easier to integrate a lot of what we do here on the channel with all of these D&D streams. Thank you, Cassie, Mike, Dwight, and Megan, as always, for awesome games. Be sure to check out the other shows on Mini Terrain Domain. Check out everybody's social media links right up above our heads here, or you can type our names in. And if you want to get caught up on old episodes of All That Glitters, the last couple are currently in the VoDs here on Twitch. But all of our other VoDs are all available in playlists, carefully curated just for your viewing pleasure on youtube.com/Mini Terrain Domain. We're going to go ahead and we are going to get out of here real quick before I go. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, tune in to Dice on Ice on YouTube. Megan is taking myself and several others through the Curse of Strahd and has not killed us yet. That's not a taunt. That's just a statement of fact. It's not a dare.
And we have a special guest tomorrow.
Yes, and we have a special guest tomorrow, so that's going to be exciting as well. So be sure to tune in for that. Thank you, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get out of here, and we're going to end the stream the same way we end every stream. And you can say it with me if you want. Meta Day.